Oh, a heap of things. A lot of things. And that's what you do when you've lost a game of football. You focus in on some good stuff and old stuff and some stuff that needs to be corrected. You go back over old ground and you continually develop. See, we don't whack people in here. You continue to teach. You know, contrary to what the media or the public would like, yes, we don't like certain things that take place, but you've got to keep teaching, otherwise you never learn. No, we've gone through that. I don't need to go through it with you.
We'd like you to, though.
What you like and what you're going to get are going to be two totally different things. We've got a wonderful young man who's captain in his first year. He is it's a learning process for him as much as anyone, because he has come out of the shadows of a very, very talented, domineering player, one of the greats of the AFL, who has moved aside to allow a younger group or a group coming through to not necessarily fill his shoes, but to learn how to take over leadership. Mark is in that process, and we're delighted with his ability to absorb. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He's very, very passionate at Carlton, very, very passionate supporters, very passionate his teammates, and he is going to lead the charge over whilst I'm here anyway. And he's going to lead that charge, and he will get more experience. And as he gets more experience, he become more aware of the responsibilities. Like everyone does. There's not one captain that I've known that ever's jumped into that job, and I've never ever said, "Oh, first year seems like his fifth year." It's always the first year is such a learning curve, because club captain is not a matter of just being appointed club captain. There are so many other club responsibilities, and those responsibilities are right through the week. And it's an adjustment to time. It's time management, it's people management. It is being from just a player responsible for your own work to responsible for the whole team. And it takes some adjustment. And as I say, there's not one captain I've ever had, and I've had some ripping captains, has gone in and you thought, oh, you know he's made for it, but it takes some time. And I think Mark Murphy is made for captain or captaincy. It'll take some time because it's just a learning process. Oh, I think it's just a generalism that when a new captain's appointed, the assumption is, let's stand back and let him take over that role. And the only way to support a captain is to be standing next to him. And we've got some very good people there that will do that. No, I think the pre-season's affected him. He had a knee operation late last year, so he never really got running until around about, I'll say, sometime in February, NAB Cup series. And when you're like that, you've also got the responsibility of captaincy. It's that management of my form and my captaincy. But he's going to be a lot better for this year. No, that'd be an assessment made by the critics. I think the list is... We made 3 changes to it last year. I think that it'd be fair to say that Chris Judd is not Benjamin Button. And the role that he played in this organisation was one of... He draws so many people to him, opposition players, and allows perhaps the others to escape a lot of scrutiny. Now Chris is another one who's chased his tail a bit on the training track. Missed a couple of games and will miss a few more. And what it does, it means that by Chris now out of the side, it'll give others a chance to demonstrate that they're going to take his spot. When he is playing, and when he has been playing, the expectations are far greater on him than perhaps, and I made this comment last year, should be, because every player's got to take responsibility. The list is the list. We will make changes like every other club. I don't get this that we are the only club making changes. I hope we are the only club making changes. It gives us a greater opportunity to pick out who we want to pick through the draft. So let's not believe for one moment that this football club, and I'll make a bet now that we are far from the most picked players in the draft. I'll make that assessment right now. There'll be other clubs that will go deeper than us. So let's not get caught up in that, my honesty by saying to you, we are going to cut the list. Of course we're going to cut the list. We've got to cut the list. The AFL rules say you've got to cut the list. How far we cut it is dependent on how well we go for the rest of this year. Every player knows that. There's not players sitting in here thinking they haven't got a chance to stay on the list. Nick's a wonderful young bloke. He's we had high expectations of him coming into the draft. We thought that the position he was drafted, and a lot of people say that, but we were delighted to pick him up when we picked him up. The unfortunate thing was that after he completed, I think it was a NAB Cup series, he broke down with a knee injury, and we elected then to think, well, it's his first year, he could get through this year easily. But what we'll do, we'll put him into surgery and, pardon me, have the medicos look at his knee and clean it up so that he doesn't have that ongoing problem, which he's done. So he probably missed, again, I'm not 100% sure, let's say 12 matches. So it's a long time. And we sat down, I remember sitting down with him when he came back from that and started to plan his year. Let's get 4 or 5 games or 5 or 6 games into the VFL structure. Let's get to the point where you're going to be selected, and then get to the point where you are selected. And we're almost within a week or 2 of that. So he's a bit about him. I don't say I'm last to leave this place, but he's close to last to leave. And that says a lot about him in his professionalism as a young man. He's only 18 or 19 years of age. It's fantastic to have him on board. How's the rebuild? We're bringing in a young player. We've brought in Keisha, Menzel, Rowe, who incidentally would have been playing earlier had he not had the cancer, and Graham. I hardly suspect that's what you call a rebuild. That is just bringing in players that are in form, and they take over from players who are not in form or injured. If you don't have this word, and so you'll use this word rebuild, every side builds on a yearly basis to be better. Sydney built their side this year on the basis of being better than last year, the premiers. Hawthorn are building the side to be better than last year. Every side builds, and if it's called rebuild, well, you used the word rebuild, but every side builds the side to be better than last year. Some succeed, some don't. Some lose some very key players. I noticed that West Coast have just had 2 retirees. One hasn't played a lot of football. They've got to replace Selwood. Is that a rebuild? No, it's just natural attrition at this level where players, one was injured for the last couple of seasons, the other one thought that he was losing the ability to play at the top level. Is it called rebuild? No, it's called natural attrition, and then they replace those players. No. Essendon things with me is finished. I've made my statement. I think that's all that needs to be said.
I agree.
And that's all that's going to need to be said.
Sure.
Okay, so read my lips. Can I just say I'm not here to talk about Essendon. I've already made my comment.
I was just going to ask how it applies to your team, though. Does it potentially...
I'm not worried about how it pans out. All we worry about is a week to week, whether we finish 9th, 10th, 11th or 8th, that is in our control. We play to win games of football. If we win enough football that gets us into the 8, we play in the 8. If it doesn't, we're 9th, 10th or 11th or whatever it is, that's where we'll be. You know, I'm not worrying about where Essendon or anything about Essendon. I'm so used to Robbie Walls being a critic. I've had Robbie Walls for, how long have I coached for? Long enough to know that Robert is a very negative person. So I take absolutely nothing in what Robert says. He lives in his own misery, and so be it.